Hello, designers. Welcome to the remarkable world of pattern making. This is where your creative visions begin to take tangible form, moving from a mere sketch into a blueprint for a garment. Before we can even think about fabric and stitches, we must first assemble our essential toolkit. Think of these tools as your trusted companions on this journey. You will need a good, sturdy roll of pattern paper, several sharp pencils, and a quality eraser because we all make mistakes, and that is perfectly acceptable. A clear acrylic ruler, particularly one that is long and gridded, is non-negotiable for drawing straight lines. And let us not forget the curved rulers, the hip curve and the French curve, which will become your best friends for sculpting those beautiful organic lines that follow the human form. These tools are the very foundation upon which all great design is built. Now let's talk about the language of patterns. When you look at a commercial or a self-drafted pattern, you will notice a series of symbols and lines. These are not arbitrary markings. They are a universal code that communicates vital information to the sewer. Grain lines, indicated by a long arrow, tell you how to align the pattern piece with the fabric's grain, which is crucial for achieving the correct drape and fit. Notches, which are small tick marks or diamonds along the cutting lines, are like little signposts that help you match seams together accurately. You will also see symbols for darts, pleats, and button placements. Learning to read and use this symbolic language is as important as learning to use your sewing machine. It ensures consistency and precision, which are the hallmarks of a well-made garment. Of course, a pattern is utterly meaningless without accurate measurements. This is a step that you simply cannot rush or estimate. A garment can only fit as well as the measurements it is based upon. I encourage you to find a partner to help you, as taking your own measurements can often lead to inaccuracies. You will need a flexible measuring tape. When you measure, stand naturally and do not hold your breath or pull the tape too tightly. Key measurements include the bust or chest, taken around the fullest part, the waist at your natural waistline, and the hips again at the fullest point. You will also need vertical measurements, like the back waist length and the inseam for trousers. Record everything meticulously. This data is your personal map to a perfect fit. The importance of these numbers cannot be overstated. They are the bridge between the two-dimensional pattern on the paper and the three-dimensional body it will adorn. When you draft a pattern from scratch, you are essentially translating these numbers into lines and curves. A discrepancy of even half a centimeter can make a significant difference in the final fit, causing pulling, gaping, or discomfort. So, take your time. Measure twice, or even 3 times, to be absolutely certain. Keep a dedicated notebook for your measurements and those of anyone you plan to sew for. This diligence at the beginning of the process will save you countless hours of frustration and alterations later. It is an act of respect for the design and for the wearer. Now let us begin the drafting process. We start with what we call a block or a sloper. This is a basic, fitted pattern with no design details, like a second skin. It is your foundational template from which all other designs will spring. We will start with the bodice block. Using your bust, waist, and back length measurements, you will begin by drawing a series of intersecting horizontal and vertical lines on your pattern paper. This creates a grid, a framework upon which you will plot the key points of the bodice. You will mark the neckline, the shoulder slope, the armhole, and the side seams, connecting these points using your straight and curved rulers. This is where your measurements truly come to life, forming the basic shape of the upper body. Do not worry about perfection on the first try. This is a process of refinement. Next, we move to the lower body, starting with a simple skirt block. For this, you will need your waist and hip measurements, as well as the desired length of the skirt. Much like the bodice, you begin by creating a foundational rectangle based on your hip measurement and skirt length. Within this framework, you will shape the waistline, often using darts to contour the fabric from the wider hip measurement to the narrower waist. The placement and size of these darts are calculated mathematically to ensure a smooth, flattering fit over the hips. The skirt block is wonderfully straightforward and serves as an excellent exercise in understanding how darts create three-dimensional shape from a flat piece of paper. It is the basis for A-line, pencil, and flared skirts. The sleeve block is often considered a bit more complex, but do not be intimidated. It is a marvel of engineering. To draft it, you will need the measurement of the armhole from your completed bodice block, as well as your bicep circumference and desired sleeve length. The most challenging part is drafting the sleeve cap, the curved top of the sleeve that fits into the armhole. This curve must be longer than the armhole measurement itself to allow for ease, which gives the wearer room to move their arm comfortably. Achieving a beautiful sleeve cap that hangs correctly without puckering is a true milestone for any budding pattern maker. It requires patience and a gentle hand with your French curve. Finally, we have the trouser block. Drafting trousers involves creating a pattern for the front and back leg separately, as the back piece needs more room and shaping for the seat. You will use your waist, hip, inseam, and crotch depth measurements. The crotch curve is the most critical element of a trouser pattern. It dictates the fit through the rise and seat, and getting it right is paramount for comfort. You will draft two distinct shapes, carefully plotting points and connecting them to form the waist, hips, crotch, and leg lines. While it may seem like the most daunting of the basic blocks, drafting a trouser pattern that fits you perfectly is one of the most rewarding experiences in sewing. It gives you the power to create trousers that are truly made for your body. Once you have your basic blocks, the real design magic begins. This is where we explore flat pattern manipulation. One of the most fundamental techniques is dart rotation. A dart is a wedge-shaped fold that adds shape to a garment, but its placement is not fixed. For instance, in a bodice block, the standard dart may be at the waist. However, you can move this dart to almost anywhere else, the side seam, the armhole, the neckline, without changing the overall fit of the garment. This is done by a simple slash and spread method. You draw a line to the new desired location, cut along that line and the old dart, and pivot the paper to close the original dart, which opens up a new one in its place. This technique is the key to creating countless stylistic variations from a single block. Another essential skill is pattern grading. Your sloper is made to one specific set of measurements, but what if you need to create the same design in a different size? This is where grading comes in. Grading is the process of proportionally increasing or decreasing the size of a pattern while maintaining its shape, balance, and fit. It is not as simple as just making everything uniformly larger or smaller. Different parts of the body grow at different rates, so you must add or subtract specific amounts at key points, such as the side seams, center front, and shoulder tips. While professional pattern graders use complex software, you can learn to grade manually using your ruler and a clear understanding of how sizes differ. This is an invaluable skill for anyone wanting to design for others. After you have manipulated your pattern, whether by moving darts or grading it to a new size, you must true it. Truing is the process of checking and correcting your pattern lines to ensure they are smooth and that adjoining seams match perfectly. For example, when you move a dart, you must redraw the seam line to be a smooth, continuous curve or straight line. You also need to walk your seams, which means aligning the seam lines of two pattern pieces that will be sewn together, like a sleeve cap and an armhole, to ensure their lengths match and the notches align correctly. This step is a final quality check before you ever cut into your precious fabric. It is a meticulous but necessary part of the process that ensures a professional finish. Think of truing and blending as polishing your work. It is about refining the details. When you blend lines, you are creating a graceful transition, for instance, between the straight line of a side seam and the curve of a hip. You use your curved rulers to smooth out any awkward angles that may have been created during your pattern adjustments. A pattern with true blended lines will sew together more easily and result in a garment that hangs beautifully on the body. It may seem like a small step, but it is one that separates the amateur from the dedicated craftsperson. Take pride in this final cleanup. Your sewing will thank you for it. In our modern world, pattern making is no longer confined to paper and pencil. We now have the incredible option of digital pattern making using computer-aided design or CAD software. Programs like Adobe Illustrator, Valentina, or specialized industry software allow you to draft patterns directly on your computer screen. This method offers remarkable precision and efficiency. You can draw perfectly straight lines and flawless curves with the click of a mouse. Making adjustments is often as simple as typing in a new number. The software can automatically adjust related lines, saving an immense amount of time. It is a different way of working, requiring a new set of skills, but one that opens up a world of possibilities for designers. The advantages of going digital are numerous. Storing and organizing your patterns becomes effortless. There are no more bulky paper rolls to manage, just digital files. Grading a pattern into multiple sizes can often be done automatically by the software, which is a game changer for anyone looking to produce a small collection. You can also easily share your patterns with others digitally, or print them out on a home printer or a large format plotter. While there can be a learning curve with the software, many resources and tutorials are available online. I encourage you to explore this avenue, as it is a powerful tool to have in your design arsenal. It does not replace the foundational knowledge of manual drafting, but rather enhances it. As you embark on this journey, I want to leave you with a few final thoughts. Be patient with yourself. Pattern making is a skill that, like any other, takes time and practice to master. Your first attempts may not be perfect, and that is more than okay. Every mistake is a learning opportunity. It teaches you about fit, about shape, and about the unique contours of the human body. Do not be afraid to experiment. Use inexpensive fabric like muslin or calico to create a test garment, which we call a toile, to check the fit of your pattern before you cut into your final fabric. This is a critical step that allows you to make adjustments and perfect your design. Most importantly, have fun. Pattern making is a deeply creative and rewarding process. It is the moment where you become both an architect and a sculptor, building a garment from the ground up. You are in complete control, able to create clothing that not only fits your body perfectly, but also expresses your unique point of view. It is a skill that empowers you to bring your most imaginative ideas to life. So, gather your tools, take your measurements with care, and start drawing. You are about to unlock a new level of creativity. Make it work.